Hello everyone, I'm Trisha, it's me Jenny, and it's time for another not naked video response to Trisha Hershberger's Naked Truth, in which we talk as candidly as possible about a subject of her choice, as truthfully as possible. No editing, hair all wet straight out the shower, no makeup. I am very pink right now because I just had a lovely hot shower, and most of us do it naked, but I choose not to. And this week's subject was April Fools and pranks and such things. I've never been much of a pranker. I had a long-running very high fear of getting in trouble when I was little, so I was very scared to do anything that might break any rules or get me or anyone else into any trouble, and then as I progressed into an adult it turned into much more of a fear of upsetting people or making them have a negative experience or a bad day, which is one of the reasons why I really like, when it comes to pranking videos, things like Improv Everywhere, where it's a kind of open air theatre, flash mob type event more often than not, where if people are involved, they're having a great time. If people are in the vicinity, they can get involved, they can look at the experience that's going on, or they can choose not to. It's not an invasive thing, it's not a you have to participate. It doesn't interrupt businesses for the most part, and it doesn't interrupt day-to-day life. You can choose to participate, you can choose to witness, you can choose to work out what's going on, or you can choose not to. You can just get on with your life, and that's the reason why I really like them, because they are empathetic to being insensitive and being in your face with their pranks. Given that fact, I have actually pranked 3 people this year for April Fools. As I said, I'm not much of a pranker, and taking into consideration that I don't want to affect people's day-to-day lives, one of the things that I often think about is, obviously I don't do physical pranks. I don't do electric shock pens or water buckets above the door, anything that could actually physically hurt someone or ruin their day or mean that they have to change their clothes or they're in pain or anything like that. That sort of practical joke actually makes me kind of scared to be around on April Fools. So when it comes to practical jokes, it comes down to trying to convince people that you're telling the truth when you're lying, or telling an effective lie or a story or something like that. And obviously when I'm at work or something like that, I don't want to say something really positive has happened and convince someone that something really positive has happened about work, and then that not to be true, or equally to say something like, the kitchen's on fire and all the paperwork got shredded by accident and I deleted your main folder, because that is a negative thing no matter how high the rise is after the fall. I wouldn't want to make someone have that like, oh no moment. So the lie that I told this year was, I went up to 3 separate colleagues and I told them about a balmy uncle or aunt or cousin who was coming back, and each time I told it, the lies got slightly more intense, but each time I managed to actually get them. And I sidled up to one of my colleagues and said, I don't know whether or not I told you, my uncle is coming back he's been abroad and he's coming back home, and he's one of the most amazing people ever. He's a unicyclist and he is amazing. He's just one of those fabulous people, and he gets paid to juggle plates while on a unicycle, and he's been going around children's parties, and he's just got back from visiting Dutch royalty, and my colleague was like, that's really awesome, and I was like, happy April Fool's Day. And then I sidled up to the next colleague, and he was about a foot away from this colleague that I just pranked, and I was like, did I tell you? Oh my gosh, I have to tell you this. My aunt, she's just got back from a tour of Japan. She's a ballet dancer, but while she ballet dances, she uses like a flamethrower to like set things on fire. She's like a fire dancer, but she does it on point shoes. She's amazing. She just got back from a tour of Japan, and she's going to come stay with us, and she's just a fabulous human being. And in the meantime, my colleague that I just pranked was like giggling away, and then I was like, April Fools. And the last colleague I sidled up into in the office, obviously I was working April Fool's morning, if you haven't worked this out, and I sidled up to him in the office and said, did I tell you my cousin's coming home? Yeah, she's this amazing, she's a children performer, she's a clown. She does like clown impressions of Disney princesses, and she goes around children's birthday parties, and she's just a lovely human being. And it was one of those things where, because it was about me, because it wasn't about work or about them or about the world in general, because it was focused entirely on me and my family and all those sort of things, A, I'm so loopy that it was all believable apparently, and B, it didn't affect anyone else. If they'd chosen to believe me, that's great. If it was a lie, it doesn't matter. If they hadn't believed me, then equally, it's, you know, it makes no difference because it's about me. So it's finding those ways to give someone a good laugh without giving them a negative experience. And I was actually really happy that I pranked people this year. My little rebellion. Anyway, so that's my thoughts on pranking and stuff. I wanted this to be a super short video, but it's not. So anyway, feel free to comment down below about your pranking history. Thank you as always, Trisha, and I'll see you guys all next week. Bye guys.